So lots to talk about over the span of our next hour, 15 minutes if you're a DraftKings person. I'm Chris Spags, joined as always by my good pal, the Chubster, Josh Engelman. How you doing, Josh?
I'm pretty good. The first half of Hell Week is almost over. It starts to get a little tamer tomorrow. Saturday's pretty
Does it?
easy.
13 NBA games. So I guess you don't have to do MLB in the afternoon, so that probably helps.
Oh, I could care less about basketball. You just have to not pay attention to it like a normal person.
Well, I have to do it early in the morning to prepare all 13 games for written and video content. But
yeah. I mean, I'll prepare the projections and stuff, but that's a walk in the park. I don't have to try to play it or understand it.
Yeah, it's not. Yesterday was pretty good. Yesterday, I had a ton of. Well, we talk about a different sport, but whatever. A ton of Mario Hazonia, a ton of Walt Lemon. It was a good day. I thrive in crappy guy season in the NBA. So that's so tune into that content tomorrow because I'm going to be up early as balls doing that. Let's talk about the one game. So the first game is the one that's not on FanDuel, right? The Toronto Cleveland game. Okay, so let's talk about that one real fast. If you are playing on DraftKings, you just got to have a lot of Trevor Bauer. There's really no way around that. Is there any way around that, Josh, for you if you were looking at the DraftKings slate?
I mean, if I'm max entering, sure. He's very clearly the best option by leaps and bounds on DK. There's not comparable anything out there. So yeah, I mean, like I would have him in a lot of lineups, but there'd be still, I don't know, 40% of my stuff or more, 50, 60 that wouldn't have him at all.
Yeah, I think I ended up with 40 without him, maybe closer to 30. I did a max 20 today. I think you got to put in some Blue Jays stacks in there just in case Bauer somehow goes off, but that it would really be the most DFS thing I think of the year, given how terrible the Blue Jays have been to open the year for the most part, besides Rowdy Tellez and Grichuk to a lesser extent. But if this Blue Jays lineup has a big day as a stat going against Trevor Bauer, I'm really going to hit my head on something. I think I still got some stacks in there because it's just that's what you do. But I hate it, and I hate this team, and I hate how you can't not play Trevor Bauer.
Yeah, he's just he's on a completely different level than every other pitcher on this slate. By so far, it's insane.
Yeah, I would agree. Aaron Sanchez, a little interesting on the other side too, just to close the loop on this one game here. Cleveland really not hitting well at all to start the year besides Carlos Santana. Obviously, that should turn around at some point. They are a team who's heavily favored to win their division for a reason. Sanchez started the year well. I think the Vegas total here does support another good day for Sanchez. Not a bad run total. Would you play some Sanchez if you're going on DraftKings?
I mean, I would probably have every single pitcher except for Edinson Volquez, but I would have very little Sanchez, I think. He's 6th of 8 for me.
I have a little more Sanchez just because I think the Indians are starting kind of slow here. And the total here, like looking at the run totals, I mean, Jordan Lyles, the ownership doesn't really support going to Sanchez, I guess, because he and Lyles are pretty much the exact same ownership.
I could change my answer now. The line has moved way more towards Bauer than when I entered this a couple hours ago. So now I definitely don't like Sanchez.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough. I have a little Sanchez. I don't know. I probably have more Lyles than Sanchez, but I think in terms of those guys, like our projections have them pretty close to even 1.1 more points for Lyles, which I would say is about as close to the same as you can get. So I don't need Sanchez, and I have a little bit of Jake Bauer. Jake Bauer's though going against him. I feel like the lefty matchup there isn't too bad. He's an interesting one-off play to me price-wise with some of the other stacks, but yeah, I don't know. The going to Cleveland, not super appealing. Going to Sanchez, not super appealing either.
The only Sanchez that I want in my life is Rick.
Okay, not dirty.
No, not dirty.
And not Gary either.
But probably not today. I think I was a little underweight on him.
There you go. So all right, fine. That's true. If you're gonna have one Sanchez, Rick is the one to have. If you're gonna have him on your side, I feel like your teleportation between dimensions alone would probably be worth the price of admission.
Okay, so now that I updated like Darvish, Molly, Sanchez, Lyles, Harvey, Volquez, you can basically just randomly pick who you want out of that group, and I'm cool with it. Like, I think that Bauer is on his own planet, and then Max Fried is on his own planet that is smaller than Bauer's, and then the rest of those guys are just like toiling away on a garbage planet. So call it Earth, I guess.
Okay, that's a fair take to me. I didn't get much Max Fried because I do think that Cubs lineup. I find it hard to get to the Cubs lineup a lot because of their prices, and if you try to put them with Bauer, it just kind of all falls apart on DraftKings. But I could see what you're saying with Fried. I mean, he had a really good first start to start the year, and yeah, or actually bullpen sessions. I think he's had to start the year, but he's looked good so far overall.
31% K rate last year in limited starts. Former top 10 pick in the draft. Major curveball as an out pitch. If he's able to locate at all today, he could really rack up some strikeouts. He's highly volatile, so he fits really well in GPPs because a 10 strikeout day is not at all out of the realm of possibility for someone with his stuff, but he could also have 4 or 5 walks and get out of there with a monster dong from someone.
Yeah, I could see that being the case. It's not a great run total for the Cubs, especially given how well they've started the year. 4.3, not a terrifying one to go against with Fried, so I could support that. But yeah, I don't know. It's really not a spot where you feel comfortable with any pitcher tonight, other than Bauer, I think.
That's why I like Fried so much, because he's got so much better stuff than any of the other guys that aren't named Trevor Bauer.
Yeah, I could see that.
He'll be my highest exposed pitcher by a mile on FanDuel, and he's the cheapest of the 6.
Yeah, his swinging strike rate is up there. I mean, yeah, as you mentioned, really the only guy who's even close to Bauer, and still not that close. But yeah, I think your tiny planet analogy was pretty solid, even though it's a strange way to go.
Yeah. Well, once I got started, I felt like I had to keep using it.
Yeah, that's I could see that. It worked out for you. Your scientific knowledge really shined through there.
I'm quick like that.
Somebody saying I thought Cole was 100% lock last night, and how that turned out. I didn't play MLB last night, so I can't have a hard take on this. But I would say there's a bit of a difference between Garrett Cole on that slate and Trevor Bauer on this slate.
Okay. First and foremost, there is no such thing as 100% lock in baseball. There's barely like a 40% lock in baseball. That's just never a thing. I mean, maybe if Garrett Cole is $0, you might have 100% lock, but these things don't exist in baseball. People get bombed constantly. Yeah, watch tonight is the night that Toronto hits and Bauer gets smashed because baseball. Same response from the same person that said the Cole comment. Yeah, exactly. That's why you don't play 100% of anybody ever in baseball.
One quick question from the premium Slack for DK Cash: would you go Harvey, Bell, and Markakis, or Sanchez, Bauer, and Chu?
I have no idea. I don't know the ownership of any of those people. Go with the people that are owned more.
Okay.
I assume Justin Bohr. I mean, he's usually like my favorite player of the day, so that's not helpful.
I think the ownership is probably favoring Sanchez, Bohr, and Chu.
Yeah, then that's the direction.
I don't hate Markakis today, though. He's cheap enough to make some things work. I know he doesn't have a ton of power, a ton of upside, but going against you, who really did not look good, and that is one thing I did I looked at the numbers. Yeah, really bad start. He could certainly level out, but still was pretty bad last year, and I think he was bad in a similar way to how he was bad last year.
Yeah, he's the most owned pitcher on FanDuel, and I think it's only because he's the most expensive and people don't know any better.
Yeah, I wrote up the NL Central stuff, and I remember looking up his numbers and being like, ooh, that's really bad, but he's supposed to be a good pitcher, so I think he'll bounce back. And I don't know that this Braves lineup is one you're going to bounce back against. They do have some good guys in this. I like to stack quite a bit.
He's an underdog. How in the world? Like, seriously, the only reason that he is the chalk pitcher on FanDuel is because people pick him because they must think he's good because his name is on the top of the list.
Yeah, I don't see.
What is that worth?
Yeah, there's certainly a valid case, though. He's going to be 30% on DraftKings too, apparently. So it's not a FanDuel exclusive issue.
He's 30% on FanDuel. That implies like 60% on DraftKings. Well, extra game too, so maybe 50. Yeah, 30% on FanDuel is ludicrous.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense with the Braves having the tie for the highest team total as well. I just don't see the logic in going to you today, unless you're going to be contrarian, but you're not contrarian.
Yeah, I have no idea. And I'm sure he's going to go out there and roll 8 innings of one-hit ball, and I'll hate him for beating the Braves and for destroying my lineups. But it's complete and utter insanity, in my opinion.
Yeah. So I love the Brave stack. That's one of my favorite ones on DK. And obviously we are now locked on DK. So hope that talk about the one game was helpful, but got to fill an hour, guys.
Yeah.
We made the Bauer take up front. That's the one which is most important for DraftKings. Everything else is up to you, I would say.
We can definitely talk a little bit about how we both called dongs on our Wednesday show, or what, Tuesday show. What's today?
We did. So we are, pull up the sheet of dongs. So old Jakey starting to year cold. Jake, the most streaky player out of our dong game these 2 seasons we've been doing it now.
Yeah, Jake's got a streaky dong.
Jake does have a streaky dong. I've been signed in from another Google property. What is that? Oh, whatever.
You getting hacked by the same people that stole Laffy's money?
Oh, does that happen? I didn't hear that.
You should listen to the deep dive from yesterday. Laffy got a text message about like this money transfer that went through. He found out that his bank ran through like a bunch of wire transfers to Nigeria or like, you know, some country in that vein. He was like, I tried to buy Bitcoin with my bank card once and they shut that down, but 5 individual transfers directly to Africa. Didn't even bat an eye.
I've had the same thing too, where one time I tried to buy a new laptop on my card and like it was me in New York and like I have like it's not like an outlandish purchase and they like declined that, but then I had like some fraud issues where people were charging like fast food and like Maine to my card. It's like, okay, that's cool. Like $1,000 worth of fast food is okay, but me buying a laptop, that's too like unbelievable. Thanks just suck, man.
$1,000 of fast food, is that just you buying Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, that's me over the course of a week normally, but in one day it's a little bit much when it's spread out across. It was just very odd. It's like a lot of odd transactions piling up, and I don't know. I think there's some that are probably more likely to get covered by insurance and some that aren't, and I think that's the issue with them, where they just don't care about the Nigerian wire transfers going down for poor Laffy.
I guess not.
We should, we're holding off on the dong picks. We will do the home run picks at the halfway point of the show because this is basically just a FanDuel show at this point. But the total so far, Josh has made 4 picks and technically more than that because I think we're not counting the Sunday show and the one today with Laffy. Though if you got those right, I don't want to count those either.
I'm not counting more than one in a given day. I'm not counting anything where I do another show later in that day. Like if I got it right with Laffy, it wouldn't count for me.
Okay. I wasn't sure about that rule because I saw it go out on our MLB Twitter, our at Osmo MLB Twitter, which is doing all the baseball content. You want to go follow that?
No, we're like if I know that I'm doing another show that night, then the latter pick will count. Or if like you and I happen to do it early, then I would, we can make an agreement that it would or would not count. But like I wouldn't count anything from those early shows.
So the score right now, Josh has made 4 picks. He has 1 home run. I have made 3 picks. We have 2 home runs. Jake has made 2. He has 0. And Emac, the leader, technically 1 for 1 overall.
Should just retire on top.
It'd be a hell of a way to go out. He could have one of those Alex type showings where he gets like 1 right every time he's on the show. And that's just how it goes.
Yeah, Alex got his first one right last year, right?
I believe so. No, I think he got the first one wrong, and then he went on a run of like 3 or 4 every time he was on.
Yeah,
including like a grand slam. I remember for Greg Bird. Like it was like some random asshole at a grand slam.
What's funny is that was my pick today.
Well, there you go. Maybe it's destiny, except that he has not hit a home run as far as I know.
No, it's my fault. I made a stupid Nelly Furtado joke. I'm never going to get a home run after that.
You are not like a Greg Bird.
No. I even flapped my stupid fake wings.
All right, let's talk about some more of the games. We talked about the Brave side. I guess in this game, what do you have more of, Cub stacks or Brave stacks?
That's a good question. It was barely the Braves on my last crunch, but we just got the Rangers lineup just before this, and it's taken out a ton of my exposure. So I have to wait on our updated ownership, and then I'll recrunch, and then we'll know. But updated NBA exposure or ownership is out if anybody cares.
I will care about that in 45 minutes.
Yeah, I assume that I'm going to be relatively neutral on Cubs and Braves.
So let's see. Let me just check this. So who is the person who is in for Mazzara, and who else has changed there? All right, so we got
Odor, Andrews, Gallo, Cabrera, Guzman, Forsythe, Kiner, Falefa, Delano, DeShields.
Yeah, I think there's actually a couple changes in there from the projected one on the source that I use, but I think the main one is Logan Forsythe being in there. I don't think he was in the initial lineup for sure. All right. Mazzara was such a good play too. It's frustrating. Get a better quad, no more Mazzara.
Is he Vince McMahon?
Yeah, do the promo from your knees if you have to.
Take the at bat from your knees. You don't have the testicular fortitude like Vince McMahon, the genetic jackhammer.
So I guess to totally close the loop here, we've talked about we're not super into Yu Darvish. What is your Yu Darvish exposure right now?
It was like 10% on my last crunch, and we're projecting 30. Most of my exposure is going to Max Fried. Well, when I say most, I mean like 40% or something.
All right, that works for me. Anything else you want to hit on this one, or we can just go to the next one?
I mean, it might not even matter how we talk about this stuff anymore. Mike Minor was the best pitcher on last night's slate, so at this point, I have no idea what's going on in baseball.
That would have been my kind of pitcher. If I had played that slate, that's my kind of dude.
Yeah, what is it with you and being really good at picking the bad garbage, like Walt Lemon and garbage pitchers?
I'm good at sifting through the trash to find little gems, like a homeless person, or what is the thing that was a trend for a while, the free boarders or free whatever.
That's not a trend. That must be a Los Angeles trend, because that's not a trend here.
No, that was when I was in New York. It was like a hipster thing across the country.
Same thing.
It's definitely freebooters. Freeboot. Yeah, freebooter.
Freeloaders?
It could be that too. Engaged in piracy or plunder situation. All right. Well, maybe it's not freebooters. Whatever they are. There were people who used to rifle through trash, and it was like a popular trend that had like a bunch of New York Times trend pieces about it for a while.
Mr. 49ers for life. This is a Phil Niekro jersey.
Oh, that's a classy one.
I have two of them. One blue, one red.
I'm glad you're supporting the Niekro estate. That's all I care about.
I love my Niekros.
AO Rhino asking, can you shout me out? I heard if you do, I'll win a GPP tonight. That is certainly not the case, but hey, there's your shout out. We'll see. Let's take that to the lab. Experiment.
I was just going to keep you from your GPP win.
Look, I'm willing to try anything. There's no chance that actually would help in any way, but
shout yourself out if you think it works.
True. Hey, shout out Chris Spags tonight. Gonna have a great day in NBA and in MLB both.
Oh, good luck on NBA tonight.
Oh, it's terrible today. See, I'd rather have the 13 game trash slates, which I cannot be dreading tomorrow anymore.
It's really going to be rough. I'm so happy that I don't have to even sniff it other than updating projections.
Yeah. I'm going to be up early, like sifting through all that, and then it's going to be changed by the time I actually start recording the Four Corners video. And I don't
even know how you record it tomorrow.
I just try to pick stuff that feels safe usually if there's like a lot of weird things. There was one time though where like 2 or 3 guys got ruled out, and I just put in edits because it happened while I was still editing the video, thankfully. So I just put in edits like Josh Jackson ruled out, and it was very dramatic, but just completely ruined everything I talked about.
Oh God.
All right. What about the last game here on the slate? I guess let's just talk about this. We'll take some more questions and BS a little more. Texas and LA. The total here for the Angels pretty high, tied the second highest with the Braves on the slate. Matt Harvey gonna have some ownership, which always seems like a great idea. At least on DraftKings, he is. I don't have FanDuel ownership in front of me, so
way too much on FanDuel as well.
And Edinson Volquez also gonna have a little bit of ownership on DK on FanDuel. What is he looking at? Probably not much.
6%.
All right, so he's got double that on DK, so about even then overall on both sides.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking mostly garbage. Had that first start, was mostly garbage. Didn't get shelled though with home runs. So I guess if we're gonna take that one start, and he wasn't a bad home run guy before his Tommy John surgery, so maybe not as great of a spot versus Volquez as it seems. But where are you landing on with the pitchers with Harvey and Volquez?
I don't anticipate having much of either one of these guys, but if I do, it'll be Harvey and not Volquez. I will have what I hope to be absolutely zero, unavoidable with the dong. Volquez is just real. I mean, he grades out as the worst pitcher on the slate for me. I can't, like, he's projected under 20 on FanDuel, even relative to his salary. He's bad. He's just He is not at all interesting to me. He and Jordan Lyles are two guys that I'm not going to whatsoever.
See, I don't mind Jordan Lyles that much. It's not, I mean, it's a good matchup, I think, versus the Reds, or at least not a bad matchup. And he does project pretty well according to our projections. So I don't hate him. Why no Lyles?
Because he's the second most expensive pitcher on FanDuel.
Oh, okay. That's a big difference then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. He is, he's $2,200 more than Max Fried. I have Max Fried projected for 6.4 more fantasy points.
Okay. We had him. We do have Lyles on DK. We have Lyles getting 1.2 more. So that is a different equation completely.
Yeah, I have Fried by 3.7 on DK.
Okay. Well, that changes it at all. But I guess, yeah, I could see where you're going with that anyway. Harvey, to me, not a terrible play, I think, especially with the Rangers being pretty highly owned despite a not great Vegas total for them. It does seem like a decent spot where Harvey's okay, but a lot of ownerships on Harvey. I think that's a bit of a different equation. But what about the stacks? Which are you getting more in these two teams?
I mean, I'm going to get a lot of the Angels just because I always do. I'll probably come in a little bit under the field on... I mean, I'll probably have like half the field to Trout and then like a relatively normal amount of the Angels. But I was getting to quite a bit of the Rangers. They were my number one stack with a bullet. God, I just burped. I ate a pizza for lunch today.
I had beef jerky after going to the gym, and I'm on my low carb situation. Which though you were going low carb, didn't I see that yesterday or hear that?
I generally try to on a day-to-day basis. The wife let me know that I was going to be on my own for dinner today, so on days like that, I know that I don't want to try to plan anything after I do this show. So I just ate a gluten-free pizza at lunch, and that'll just cover. Like I won't eat dinner now.
Oh, EMAC, by the way, got my guy. Freegans is what they are called. Thank you, EMAC. And the premium Slack. I missed that.
Circling back to the Rangers, they are my favorite team. I want to get all of these lefties against Matt Harvey.
Speaking of digging in the trash, yes. Yeah, I think the Rangers, they look fine here. And obviously going against Matt Harvey, not a bad situation. Really, the only thing that scares me off is that Vegas total. It's just not, you would expect a little more support here for a pretty powerful Rangers lineup going against Matt Harvey. And it's not there. I mean, Pitchers Park not supporting it that much, but 3.8, not that great.
Jake says so much for keto. Yeah, look, when the wife throws you a curveball and you're not going to have dinner, it's just not happening.
Also, if it was gluten free, you're technically keto.
No.
Yeah.
No.
What is in it instead of gluten?
I don't know. Other flours that are very high in carbohydrates.
Well, I mean, okay.
I didn't just eat the cheese off the top of it.
It's paleo. Sorry, it's not keto.
Correct. Well, I don't even know if that's correct. I just know that the first one was not right.
It theoretically could be paleo, but we're unclear about it. No, like that's usually how I eat. I try not to eat carbs during the week because that sort of balances out the bad things I do during the week. Yeah, gluten-free stuff actually, in some respects, as bad, if not worse, than like regular full carb things calorically.
Oh yeah, for sure. The only reason I get it is because I don't feel as bloated after I eat it, and Costco has these gluten-free pizzas that are just like. I don't notice that they're gluten-free. They don't taste like garbage. They've got like a really good crust, and you don't normally find that.
I've had a cauliflower pizza out here, which is like obviously a cauliflower-based crust, it's not bad. It's a little grittier. There's some difference, but I think a lot of the paleo and fake carb kind of things have come a long way in recent years.
They have indeed.
Jay Kelly 13 asking, is there any data to suggest that 4x4 stacks are less effective on small slates compared to large slates?
Yes.
Okay. I believe you. My stay at home without the SO dinner last night was 4 cheeseburgers and 2 lamb burgers with hot sauce and no buns for Makad. There you go, Makad. Look, you could eat as many burgers as you want as long as you're not eating the buns. Healthy living.
You ate 6 burgers yesterday?
It's a lot of burgers, but they could be small ones. They might be like slider size, perhaps.
Well, then you're right. 6 sliders, 4 cheese sliders, and 2 lamb sliders.
One of my go-to no carb meals is I'll get 5 Guys with like the lettuce wrap burger and bacon and load up on all that stuff.
Do you get 6 of them when you do that?
Well, sometimes I'll get the large one and then like a small side burger too, which also has no carbs.
A side burger?
like a side
eat a lot different.
Well, when you're not eating carbs, you got to eat enough protein to make up the difference, and you got to get your healthy fats and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I
I
watch my
guess.
macros.
I guess.
You're only scratching the surface of your carb life.
I like burgers as much as the next guy, but I like smoking as much as the next guy, but I don't even think I could do both of those things together and get to 6 burgers. But I also make really thick burgers, so I'm picturing it the way that I make burgers, which is probably like 3 pounds worth of meat.
Yeah, that's a pretty hefty burger there. I like a good, quarter-pound burger. I feel like would be my threshold. I feel like that's the mutually accepted burger amount when you're like saying a burger, you're declaring a burger.
I've got a burger press. It ends up doing like a little north of 6 ounces in a patty, and it's basically like the width of your index finger and middle finger together.
Okay, so that sounds about right. It's like an inch thick.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, look, I support your burger size. Either way, Makad should tell us the size of these burgers just to close the list.
Yeah,
we got to
for real.
fill some time here on an hour show. Yeah, 6 burgers still a lot, regardless, I think, of how you're putting it together.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, I could put away 6 burgers. Now, couldn't do it.
It was about 1.5 pounds of burgers, Makad says. All right.
Mike Scott starting for Jimmy Butler today.
Oh, boy. He's going to get some open threes today.
T. McBee. Spags just invented the side burger. Pretty sure we've officially made America great again.
I wouldn't support a side, though I do get that sometimes when I'm getting like my Jack in the Box orders, but a side burger in general, I would say more of a no carb situation. If you're getting side burgers with like carbs and buns and stuff, probably getting a little fat would be the concern.
You want to pick some home runs?
Well, we got 2 minutes. We didn't really touch as much about the Pittsburgh side of things, so let's just talk about them real fast and then do it.
Sure.
Pittsburgh stacks, any of them for you going against Tyler Mahle?
They were my lowest exposed group prior to my last crunch. I don't anticipate getting to too much. They are also the lowest owned team on the slate. They're just not good, really. Mm-hmm. Like Mahle's fine-ish. The line in this game is really unappealing. No one in the lineup is really like crazy good. They're all just sort of, I don't know. Like I see a lot of like singles in this game, which is kind of not appealing to me.
Yeah, okay. I support that enough. I think Mahle has enough of a deficiency against lefties in particular. He's got a 5.7% home run rate versus lefties. Also strikes him out a fair amount, but like Frazier to me is pretty appealing as a one-off guy. And I did force a couple sacks in there because I see some potential in the stack, but I agree overall. I mean, they're not getting on base a lot. They don't have a ton of power as a team. So probably not a great stack, but on this slate, I felt like it was one worth taking a few shots at. So I did do that. And no reds for me at all. I don't think I have a single red. Maybe a Barnhart.
They were my number 3 stack.
Oh, okay. So you're fully buying up the anti-Jordan Lyles take today.
I mean, you got to remember, I only have 6 choices.
True.
So I do have everybody. Being third is just being average.
I'm not arguing, but burgers aren't carrying healthy fat. I know that, but it's still an amount of fat. And then you add in your oils and your olive oil and avocado and stuff. That's what I mean.
It depends what you're eating. If it's Burger King burgers, then no. But if you're grinding your own short ribs, like someone sitting here right now, it's a little bit different.
Wow. Humble brag more. Grinding your own short ribs. But like you get a leaner meat. Yeah. I think it's still not that bad. It's not bad fats. In general, eating paleo is going to do you more benefits, even if you are eating a burger or 6 burgers in our guy Makad's case.
Just what everybody tunes in for. Excellent dietary choices.
Look, I mean, it would be helpful if we had Jake here to be like, and here's the guy. Here's the one to point to. Look how great shape he's in. That's the diet. But no, you just got to do it when you get older to keep afloat, I think, for the most part.
You got to end up giving something up if you don't want to exercise. So I don't want to exercise. So I gave up other things that make things worse.
I do both. But anyway, let's do our home run picks. We are at the halfway point. I gave the scoreboard before, but Josh has made 4 picks, is 1 home run. I've made 3 picks. I have 2. Jake, who's not here, has 2 picks, and he's made 0, or he's hit on 0. And Emac 1 for 1 because he's the best.
He's the best around.
All right. I'll let you go first because you got to dig out of your hole.
Out of my hole. Come on, we're tied if I hit one here today.
Well, you're also in a overall numbers hole, which is now a consideration.
Sure.
Before it was all about usage rate. Now it's about efficiency plus usage.
Okay, I would like Rugnet Odor.
Ooh, okay. Okay, I'm gonna go.
Make sure you get the right Rugnet Odor. I don't want his brother. I want the good one.
I'm going to go with. Ooh, okay. I'm going fully against the Yu Darvish train. I'm going to Ozzy Albies.
Ozzy Albies is 35th out of 68.
Okay.
I hope you're wrong. Unless I have more than the field of him,
either.
At which point I will probably cheer for you.
I have a lot of Ozzy Albies in my lineups tonight. He's been hitting well to start the year. I like the matchup too. And yeah, I think that's just more of me putting my ownership with the spot. Probably would have been more logical to go to Freddie Freeman. But
speaking of ownership, our main slate ownership just updated.
Okay. Let's see. Well, I guess that only matters for FanDuel. Probably doesn't matter for DraftKings.
That's a great point. Well, I don't know. I mean, there's still... Is there a 3-game DraftKings slate?
No, I would assume not.
They got a 2-game night. I didn't know if they were mirroring FanDuel as well. All right,
yeah,
time
if they
to run
did,
a crunch.
That wasn't part of my process. Let's see what they have. Yeah, they have a 4:05 2-game night slate.
Crunching it out now.
Crunch it out. Let's see. Oh, who's doing well right now? Let me guess. Bauer's doing well. Oh, Bauer and Sanchez both doing well.
Alex Baker showing up in YouTube chat. For some reason, I'm craving a burger right now. We'll talk to McCod because he's got plenty to go around.
Get some short rib meat from Josh. He'll mail it over to you.
We don't have burgers anymore. McCod's cornered the market.
McCod's like Wembley from Popeye. He'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today.
Cheeseburger McCod. Doesn't roll off the tongue the same as Cheeseburger Eddie.
Oh, okay. Gee, that's good. The Hamburglar, we could also call him.
That's true.
Hamburglar, just a criminal. Just a bad part of society. Albies versus a righty.
It is weird that they had a gimmick of having a guy that steals burgers. No?
Yeah, well, because the point was that the burgers were so desirable, and also it painted I thought the McDonald Land characters in a positive light overall, because they were like they were welcoming of this guy even though he was robbing them repeatedly. It was like a positive lesson for kids out of that whole thing. Big on the McDonald Land lore. You know, Grimace is just a shake.
What do you mean?
Like his character is supposed to be he's like the shake.
I don't understand.
So like there's the Fry Kids, like each character is a food item. Mayor McCheese. I mean, the hamburger was just a dude in pajamas, criminal pajamas. But no, Grimace is supposed to be like the equivalent of a milkshake.
Is he purple?
Yeah. I mean, something took a turn there. It was the 60s. They're probably doing some.
I mean, they've never even offered purple milkshakes, have they? That'd be a great.
Maybe there was a big grape milkshake kick.
I know nothing about this, obviously, and now I'm just confused.
Yeah. Well, the point is though, Grimace is supposed to be a milkshake.
God, I'd grimace too if somebody told me I was supposed to be a milkshake.
All right, what are you getting in your crunches?
I don't know. I'm about to copy them into my sheet now.
Oh, okay.
Merging my crunches.
Hopefully you're not getting Grimace.
Has there been any interesting news yet? Basketball? That's the only thing I'm paying attention to right now. So I'm going to have to update projections.
Jimmy Butler's out.
Ooh, yeah. I do need to update that at some point in time. Oh, yeah. Lock's not in 24 minutes, so I care a lot less.
Lock is a 5 o'clock for me, so that's perfect. There's perfect timing for a slate. I actually kind of like this because like I got my DraftKings stuff done, and now I'm just sitting here. Well, the FanDuel people get to panic, and got nothing until 5.
All right, we ready to talk about my exposures?
Do it.
Okay, let's do it. Just waiting for it to refresh itself, and then it's here. Cool.
Hamburglar's cholesterol and lipid levels are concerning, but the cardio he gets when running for stealing helps. That's a good one, TP.
In order of my exposure: Rangers, Reds, Braves, Cubs, Angels, and then a big time step down to the Pirates. 44% Max Fried, 23% Tyler Mahle, 16% Matt Harvey, 14% Yu Darvish, 2% Jordan Lyles, 1% Edinson Volquez. That's what happens when you have to play 150 lineups. Just in case anybody's ever curious of like, Alex didn't have that guy graded out well. How did he win a tournament with Edinson Volquez? He said he didn't like him. If that's a statement that would ever come out of your mouth, that's how it happens, because there's 6 guys. I'd give anything not to have him, but I'm not going to change it.
So on the same theme, and we talked, and this is not me taking any tout credit. Right now, Aaron Sanchez outscoring Trevor Bauer. So that is also why you have a million different dudes in your lineup when you're doing 150 lineups.
Yeah, for sure.
Because Aaron Sanchez, look, I agree Aaron Sanchez sucks, but you got to have exposure to these guys, especially on a slate of this size. I think you got to have a little taste. Your anti-Jordan Lyles stance, though, I feel like that's the one. That's the one you're going to rue the day on.
I don't know. I mean, sell me on it. 7.1 Ks per 9, a 448 FIP. What is he other than just like a meh pitcher on a slate of meh pitchers?
He's that, but he also doesn't get.
Remember, he is the second most expensive pitcher on FanDuel, not the second cheapest like he was on DraftKings.
So not terrible versus lefties, I think, is appealing with the top of the order there. So a little bit of a, never a great matchup versus Joey Votto, but a little bit better with him, I think, with the fact that Jordan Lyles' whip of 1, xFIP 3.9 versus lefties. So that's a little appealing. I think versus righties, I could see wanting to go there more. The home run rate, not that great, 3.9%. So that's above league average, obviously. And there are a lot of righties there who could do damage. So I get that. I just don't think the Reds are a lineup I'm worried about. And really the Vegas total more than anything, it's under 4. I feel like that was enough for me to be like, all right, you're cool, Jordan Lyles. Get in there.
I just have no interest in him because of his price. If he were priced where Matt Harvey was and he was the second cheapest pitcher, then I'd probably have a bundle of Jordan Lyles.
Yeah, for me, he's like the most playable cheap guy. Like, assuming we're going to say Volquez, not that playable. He's 6,900 on DraftKings, so that's a bit of a different equation overall. But I just see him being a guy who maybe will be passable, and that's enough at that price where he just helps you fit anything. It's really hard to fit anything for DraftKings.
It's just a silly slate. That's really all there is. Like, I looked at the pricing, I looked at my crunches. I didn't really know what to even do with the information because the guy that I liked the most was the cheapest guy. For a second, I thought my spreadsheet was broke.
What's the details for the free month of you place in a contest sporting Awesemo logo again? There's an article on the site, but I think you have to finish in the top something and a something size.
It's on the homepage under the social tab. Let me grab it.
Let's see. Rock the Awesemo avatar.
I dropped it in chat already.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you place in the top 3 of any tournament with 5,000 plus entries, just tweet us a screenshot and email the support email, and then that's how you get in there. So top 3, any tournament with 5,000 plus entries, and the avatar has to be on there before you won it. If you put it on there after, that's just poor form, I would say, for rocking the avatar.
I need 100 and how many? 60.
TP asking, hey, Chris, can you discuss the importance of ownership on a slate like this for FanDuel? I'm stacking against the highly owned pitchers and GPPs. I'm willing to go with the lower owned guys as leverage. I guess, how would you distill that to a simple thought, Josh, for FanDuel with ownership?
You don't have to do it in every spot of your lineup, but you just try to make every lineup tell a story. If you're, if you think, okay, I think Yu Darvish is owned too much, then, pick your pitcher and then decide, okay, I'm going to start with a Braves stack. I'll fill in with whatever. If you don't, if you want to go to the Pirates bats because they're the least owned, then, make yourself the best Pirates stack you can get to, and then feel free to fill it out with anything. You don't even really have to pay too much attention to the ownership because you're probably already different. There's just not, with baseball, it's so hard because of it being a fail sport. It's like anytime someone posts a lineup in the channel, like, does this look good? The chances are the answer is just yes. Because everybody has the same sort of ability to have those opportunities.
Yeah, I think you're looking more at the stacks themselves and making those logical than anything ownership wise.
Right.
And also, like Adam talks about it a lot on the Deeper Dive show, where he mentions, like in baseball in particular, anything can happen. It's not quite the same as basketball, where you have a pretty good idea of the guys who are going to be good on a given night. With baseball, you could see. I mean, you theoretically, I would say it's unlikely to happen, but you could have seen the Blue Jays have a big day today. You could see, I don't know who would be surprising, I guess, on this slate. Really, really is anybody who would be surprising on this slate. But there's a lot of ways stacks can go to have value and different outcomes that are worth just playing, as long as you're stacking correctly and not skipping too many dudes and all that.
Andrew Mock asked how many innings I had Max Fried projected for. 5 1/3.
Are you trying the home run challenge on FanDuel? Tamar Green asks.
I don't even know what that is.
I wish I were, because I would be killing it right now. People would be like, wow, that guy's the best picking home runs.
No one would do that.
Everyone would do that. Like if we did like have a run now, like we had runs last year, we had hot streak. I think now the viewership and also like the audience activity, like people would notice that and would probably want to tail our picks or fade us, I think, depending upon the situation.
I assume that a lot of people would want to fade us.
They shouldn't.
I agree.
These picks have been inspired. You know how the world laughed with Rowdy Tellez. Rowdy Tellez, by the way, just a monster in terms of his home run rate. So this year and in general.
Yeah,
I'm sure that'll.
I'm so unhappy that you got that home run, the bailout home run for you and the Blue Jays.
A walk-off one too, where it didn't even matter. Just that was it. It's 2-1 loss. Didn't mean anything.
And the last pop-up I had on my phone was Bryce's home run. So I was just like, oh, nice. And then I saw that you got one. I was like, less nice.
Yeah, the Tellez one happened first, so I was really happy about it. Some people were like tweeting or adding me in the premium Slack, and then the Harper one hit, and I was like, God damn it! It would have been nice to have a stout lead going into our show today.
No, it wouldn't have.
That's life. All right, if you guys have any questions, drop them in the YouTube chat or the premium Slack. We are keeping an eye on everything here. Harvey pitching well. All right, it's all relative there, I would say. Hansen hit by a pitch.
Taylor Hansen?
Yeah, it's sad. Actually, the entire brother, all three of them, all got hit by a pitch at the same time. Like the Three Stooges.
Oh, I have so much exposure to the Rangers and Reds and Max Fried. I mean, I feel like I'm just randomizing tonight.
Yeah, you're not following the chalk. That's good.
Everything's chalk today. I mean, every team that has like 100% total added ownership, I have the same thing. And there's just
the Reds aren't though.
Reds are. I mean, they're 1, 2, 3. I mean, they're technically fifth, but they're 3%, like whole percent away from fourth. So I mean, that's just like one guy being 4% higher. Really, the Angels are heavy chalk. I'm fading that, and everybody else is kind of the same.
Yeah, the Reds are actually pretty low owned on DraftKings, which honestly would have been a good reason to go to them in a lineup or two, because the highest owned guy on DraftKings is 14%, and that's Peraza, and he's all the way down the order.
Jake's saying someone updated the sheet incorrectly.
Which sheet? Your sheet? Oh, our sheet? The home run sheet?
Did you put Ozzy Albies under Jake?
Oh, I did do that. Oh, well, we'll figure that out, Jake. It's not like an unsolvable issue.
Yeah. What do you think of my my changes?
It would have been cooler. I thought you initially meant that you had a way where it would automatically know if we hit a home run, which
no, geez, come on, man.
It's perhaps a bridge too far.
No, but we can keep track of count and stuff.
Why am I signed out of goal? If I'm being hacked right now, Simone, I'm gonna be very upset.
Got to get this win. What did I project for Fried for fantasy points? I have him at 30.5 on FanDuel, 15.2 on DraftKings.
Hold on, I want to enter this right, because Jake is being hypercritical about my placement of the names. All right, I could do it on my phone. Oh, it's weird. It hasn't even updated here. Okay.
How much Harvey you got on FanDuel, Josh? I can't see taking Fried for a 5-inning performance. I don't know why we're thinking that Harvey's going to be going deep into this bad boy. I have 16% Matt Harvey right now.
All right. Okay. Oh, and our dong picks are out too. So there we go. They're officially on Twitter. Yeah, whoever, I think it's Brett doing it. Brett didn't put it the day that, unfortunately, that EMAC and I had it. I was feeling real good about that. Or actually, no, he didn't do it either day that I've had a correct home run. So now this might be bad luck.
This is not going well for Trevor Bauer.
Where's he at now?
I think they're loaded.
But see, the thing is, like, he can still give up some runs, and I feel like the fact that he could still throw more strikeouts than anybody gives him enough upside where it was still worth it.
It's not going to matter when Max Fried spins a gem today.
Yeah. When Max Fried has a complete game no-hitter versus the Cubs, that'll change the equation completely.
Bases loaded, no outs for the Indians. Maybe I'm just making things up. I'm trying to piece together what I'm reading, and I'm not doing a great job of it.
Let's see. Okay, I see Jake's tag now. Yeah, no good questions in the premium Slack. Anything good on YouTube?
Let's see. How much Albies do I have? I have 19. I have 19% Albies, which is the same that we're projecting him for. So that's not great.
I would support more Albies.
Sure, you would.
How about Zagunis on the Cubs? Did I even pronounce that right? I think I did. Pitting well so far in limited sample size, not down to the 9 order or 9 hole in the order. Any interest in him at all? He's gonna be very low on DraftKings, so that's why I asked, but I don't know about FanDuel.
I have 3%.
Okay.
He's my lowest owned Cub.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, Andrew Mock mentioning him in the chat. He wants him to hit one because his name is legit. Otherwise, I'd probably go Bohr. Yeah, Zagunis, I think, has been hitting well enough where it's worth it.
Zagunis.
He does sound like he has an evil amulet with that name.
All right, who do I have the most? Who am I most over the field on? Elvis Andrus, apparently.
Oof. Okay.
Jesse Winker.
Zagunis, Dong, Spags, Lockett. All right, Andrew. Look, I support you and your Zagunis love. Also,
why am I not getting Corey Dickerson? Because I should be getting Corey Dickerson. And I'm assuming the answer is because he is not in the player pool on Fantasy Cruncher.
He's on a 10-day DL.
Why is he even in my sheet then?
I don't know. Because it happened today. I think it happened at some point this afternoon, my time.
So what you're telling me is he is not hitting like 5th for the Pirates?
No, Jung Ho Kang is.
Guess I didn't update the Pirates lineup?
Yeah, it's Frazier, Marte, Cervelli, Josh Bell, Jung Ho Kang, Melky Cabrera, JB Shuck, Kevin Newman.
What? I remember seeing all of that happen.
The only reason I really know is because I saw it pop up on my phone like while I was doing something else. Otherwise, I probably would not have retained Corey Dickerson's status.
I'm glad I just noticed this. Wait, is Eric Gonzalez? Yeah, okay, that explains why I'm not getting Eric Gonzalez either. Apparently, I just never overrode the Pirates lineup, so I got to run a new crunch. I was wondering why I was getting so little of the Pirates. It seemed off.
Well, there you go. If you had Jung Ho Kang in there, you would have been loaded up.
I'm about to, I guess. I have a feeling I'm going to end up with quite a bit of Pirates. I thought I could have swore I updated that not even just once, but twice.
So I have a question for you. One second. One quick note from Dante in the premium Slack. While I'm getting my foods and my AirPods die at the same time, Spags says, our dong picks are loaded on Twitter. Congrats, Spags. Everyone in Panera heard you. Good. I hope they know that I'm proud of our dong picks, and I'm glad they're on Twitter. I want the world to see our dong picks.
Yeah.
My dong picks have been looking great, so thus far this year.
Are people actually calling it the IL and not the DL? No, it's the DL now and forever.
Yeah, I'm not changing that one. They got me with the G League in the NBA. You're not getting me with IL, DL.
I mostly say D League.
Nah,
that'll probably take me like another year.
NBA 2K, I think, has made me more aware of the G League too. They just so much Gatorade advertisements everywhere. MSU Spartan 28 asking who would be your top 3 third baseman on FanDuel. So you're giving a lot of third basemen out of this slate.
I can give you that answer after I recrunch.
All right, recrunch. Get your Dickerson out of there.
Actually, I might be able to give like a fake answer quickly.
Give a fake answer then.
Let me find FanDuel position and get it in my table here. Third baseman?
Yep.
Favorite third baseman would be Josh Donaldson, Kang, and Chris Bryant.
Kang. Such a powerful name.
It is. It is.
He's annoying though. When I change his name, he's not Jung Ho like most of the other Korean players are. He's Jung Space Ho. So that kind of threw me for a loop while I was updating everything today.
It's different on a couple different spots, unfortunately.
I have to do the index thing using that hand sheet that you gave me, or that link that you gave me that one time.
I've started just building it out on my own.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the indexes were for like the ones that we have on the site versus the ones that I get from the lineups page I use and from Fangraphs, but it was too much work, so I just kind of do it manually for
now. We might need to take a look at some weather.
Yeah, which games are you worried about?
Maybe the Braves?
Oh no. That's not the best. It's yellow. Wait, are you worried about it officially?
Man, they've got a real narrow window.
I mean, you Darvish, I feel like for the hitters, you Darvish could give it up fast. A lot of double speak today. A lot of incidental double speak. But you Darvish, I feel like you can get rocked pretty early, even if it is an abridged game. So I'm not going to move off my Brave stacks.
Yeah, I'm not changing anything. Max Fried for life.
I guess, yeah, there is a case then to move off Max Fried.
There's not a case. I'm not moving him to any of that other trash.
All right. But a rained out Max Fried still better than Edinson Volquez?
To me, yeah.
Honestly, not the worst take.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Wait, it's pronounced Gung? Wait, what part of Jung? Is it, Gung Ho. So his name is pronounced Gung Ho. Even better. He's going to be Gung Ho on Hinton today.
That's amazing.
21% on DK.
All right.
Gung Ho.
FanDuel Crunch done. Now let's see where the Pirates actually show up when I do this all correctly. I'm sure this is going to be a much different experience for me now, which should be fun.
100% Corey Dickerson.
I hope so.
To support the guy while he's on the ILDL.
The ILDL.
Honestly, the reason they did change DL is kind of a positive one. So it might be one where it is worth going to IL, even though it's less intuitive.
Oh, come on.
It's a little PC, but
don't get me started on this stuff. I can't do this on a show right now.
Look,
there's no negative connotations to it. It's just the disabled list. No one's ever thought about it as anything other than just the place, a fake list that doesn't exist that means that you're not playing in that game today. We gotta stop nerfing the world, people. We gotta stop nerfing the world.
Yeah, I think there are reasons to change sometimes.
What if you work for Powerade? You can't call it the G League then? That's not your favorite sports drink, so then that's a problem. Where do we draw the line? Rangers, Braves, Reds, Cubs, Angels, Pirates. Nothing's changed. I just assume that I have some of the... Yeah, like I have Kang now. I have Marte and Frazier. I just have little bits of most of these guys.
So EMAC points out apparently it's Jung Ho Gung. So it's not pronounced Kang and it's not pronounced Gung to start.
You're doing a hell of a job here.
People give me information. I'm trying to learn how to pronounce. I don't want to do a disservice to Mr.
So we're positive that it's Ho though.
Yeah, he's still hoeing regardless. Yeah, he's hoeing hard. Oh man. Thanks, EMAC. EMAC very on point with the pronunciations. I did note that on our live before lock on Saturdays.
Yeah, I'm terrible at it.
It's hard. It's hard to keep track of them all. And it's like starting over again. Like basketball, I got them all now. Like I know how to pronounce everybody. You want me to pronounce Siakam or anybody, or even Nemanja Bjelica, I'm all over that. But baseball, it's like starting all over again. You got to retrain your brain.
I think it's funny that you just use Siakam as your example. Is that one that people struggle with?
It came to mind. It's certainly Nemanja Bjelica though is one where I feel like that's one I have down 100%, and people always struggle with that.
Well, it sounds like you don't have it down 100% because you're using a pretty hard J on there.
That's what it is.
Is it?
It's not Namanka. It's the C is a J.
Well, I wouldn't have said it that way either.
Yeah, it's Namanka. It's spelled Namanka, but it's Nemanja, and it's Bielica, even though it's Bajelica.
Yeah, no, the J is like a ya. It's Nemanja.
Nemanja.
No,
I might be doing an Italian.
You don't say the J like at any point in time in this.
I've heard it said. Yeah, you might be right.
I'm looking at
but
the
I've
pronunciation on Basketball Reference. Nemanja Bielica.
You know what? Still, I'm closer than 99% of America then. How about that? I'll settle for that.
Oh, man. I miss talking to you, man.
Same here. Look, we'll get lots of mispronunciations throughout the year, and we'll get better as we go.
I just love that if I say something dumb, I know that you're going to get me for it.
No, and you know what? That was a fair check and balance on me for Nemanja. Damn it. You're right. It is Nemanja.
I know.
I've been saying manja like an Italian nana. You're nothing but skinny bones, Bielica. Nemanja.
What pitchers do I have for FanDuel? Max Fried's leading the way. He's in everything good for me. Updated lineups are in, so now I'm actually playing some Pirates.
Bauer got out of that jam. He's hanging in there. He's doing fine.
What's the difference between jam and jelly? Can't go any further with this one. I'm just gonna stop.
Trevor Bauer is a character. I'm impressed by Trevor Bauer as a pitcher. Like he's a crazy person in real life and on Twitter thus far, it seems.
Yes, he is.
But he's as crazy about being great as a pitcher, which is a weird dichotomy to have. But I kind of like that. Like I deal with the craziness as long as I know like he's busting his ass to get better at every single thing.
Yeah, it was a big thing when he was getting drafted. Like, was the team that drafted him going to allow him to continue to like constantly screw with his own stuff? And at the beginning, the answer was like no. Like they were not fond of it, and it broke him a bit.
Yeah, that's how you end up with a little bit of a Markelle Fultz situation too. So could have gone south if he weren't smart and really good with changing his own things and improving.
Yeah,
he wanted to protect your investment there, given how we've seen how poorly that can go.
It's an interesting dichotomy of like how well does someone know their body, and there's a school of thought that like the way that you throw, let's say, a rock as a 4-year-old kid is just sort of like the natural movement of how you should be throwing, and that like any tweaks to that are probably not best for you individually, even if they are like sort of the average of what you would want it to be. Like your body rotates the way that it's supposed to, and changing that may or may not be worse.
Yeah, I think you probably need to be on the same like track of what it's supposed to be, but like you want to tighten up the foreign parts. Because like, I mean, I think it's also not natural to throw overhand like you're supposed to do, like for the most part when you're coming. Yeah. Like most people are kind of sidearming it, but that's not healthy long term for your arm either.
No, not at all. I mean, none of it's really healthy for your arm at all.
True. Yeah, I think the amount of Tommy John surgeries we're seeing are probably a good proof of that.
Yeah, none of this stuff is natural.
Cos Campbell asking, hey, I'll say the compliment part. Love you guys. Great work. Eddie doing a show today. I assume as long as he's healthy, right? You haven't heard anything?
I haven't heard that he's not.
Yeah, he was gritted. He got through that show yesterday with gritted teeth. That was poor Eddie was like, I don't know what was wrong with him, but he was like going to die at the end of that show. It looked like in terms of his nausea or whatever.
I did not see it.
Yeah, I had it on. I had both you guys on, and then at the end, he was like, I thought he was going to throw up on camera, which is why I was sticking with rooting for Eddie. But he'll have his link up soon. We don't have a link for it yet because it is not on the back end, as far as I can tell.
Dusty Hannas has been waived by the Grizzlies. I didn't know he was on the Grizzlies. I don't know who that is. How do you get waived by a team that doesn't have players to begin with?
So he's a point guard. He's a little white guy, looks like Justin Bieber. I only know this because he was a name I was like, I've never heard of Dusty Hannas before. He's a Texas Tech player. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's a terrible name. Dusty Hannas. Like he sounds like the most created player out of all the created player sounding guys in the world.
He looks like he would have had an SAT prep teacher.
He also looks like he would probably talk a lot of shit to a police officer.
Yeah.
And be like, you don't know who my parents are.
My dad works at the courthouse.
Dusty Hannes doesn't. He was okay. I mean, for what he did, but he was playing like 10 minutes a game, I think, tops.
I don't think that he was playing 10 minutes a game. I don't think that he played 10 minutes total.
I think he played 10 minutes in his first start, or his first game. I don't know what he played yesterday.
I can only assume the answer is 0. He's played 26 minutes total.
Yeah,
so I remember seeing his name this morning, actually. So I have a table when I update my database that just spits out names of people that aren't in my player list that are in the box score list. So basically, like, guys that showed up that I never added like a birthday for. I was like, that guy's got a couple minutes, but I'm not adding him because I don't know who he is.
Yeah, no, he wasn't doing much, but he did seem like a guy who, this is me doing my shtick, but he did seem like a guy who could add some potential. Like, if he got like a start, if he were one of those guys getting the garbage heap starts, he had some assists, had some rebounds, had some shots.
Is he your new Tim Quarterman?
No, he's not quite there. I don't think I would have a Tim Quarterman error this year. I think I've buttoned up my process enough where he wouldn't make the cut, I hope. We'll find out in the next 10 days.
Old Dusty has 2 siblings, Blake and Madison, and those 2 names make perfect sense.
I bet Madison spelled a Y and an
No,
A-H.
it's just regular Madison. Oh, you can click on her.
Max is a believer. No, I'm a Hannah maniac. I'm a Hannah Montana supporter. Dusty Hannes. People, there is no link for Fast Eddie's live stream yet. I just
no, there is not.
Yeah,
I don't think we need to get Eddie to hop on there at 7:00 on the dot for this 3-game crap fest with 2/3 of the news still out.
Yeah, the second he's live, check the YouTube channel page. You'll see it on there.
Or subscribe to the YouTube channel and get an alert immediately when it happens.
I don't know if it's as immediate as it seems sometimes.
It's immediate on my phone.
Okay. Sometimes I feel like I get a little late. This guy, Dope Heathen, giving out his lineup. That's certainly a lineup, sure. I don't love that lineup. Dusty Hanna's real name, not Dusty. Probably Dustin.
Yep. Gerald Ellis III.
Who's that?
That's Dusty Hanna's.
Oh, he's Gerald Ellis Hanna's?
Yes.
God damn, what a name. That's a real pompous name. That is an obnoxious name.
EH3, man.
I would root for him more if he were that full name.
Yeah.
And if he had a gimmick like EC3.
Yeah. But yeah, Eddie, by all accounts, should be starting at some point in time, but it's a 3-game slate. There's not enough to talk about for a full hour. Just not that day.
For really any of the sports, a nice leisurely Thursday. Tomorrow.
On the other hand, I feel like I haven't left my desk.
Ironic, given the leisurely Thursday.
Yeah. Something like that.
Okay.
We are locked.
Yay, we're locked. Stack Cavs versus Kings. Maybe. I wouldn't stack them in a few.
I think I was down 10 cents today on the early slate.
It's tough to be a profitable player. Anything else to hit on? Let's see. Any questions we missed? I think there's nothing. There's really not a lot to go through. We barely survived by the skin of our teeth today.
Yeah, tomorrow's will be good.
Yeah, tomorrow will be me and Jake. First time I'm seeing Jake on a show in literal months.
Yeah, I know. That's how I felt. Oh, there we go. Eddie should be live now.
All right, there we go. DoorDash emailing me, even though they're so incompetent. Eddie's coming soon. Yeah, so check Eddie out. He'll be coming up next. Use the promo code Live Before Lock if you want to get access to any late slate ownership stuff for MLB or NBA slate. That is going on. The full slate is happening in an hour, so you can get in there now. Get half off your first month with promo code Live Before Lock. Also, hit that like button on the way out. We didn't pander for likes today because there wasn't a show to do that for.
No.
But always do that. Just do that. It's good manners. It's like tipping your bartender. We live in America. Most of you also live in America, so just do that. It's a custom. Tip your bartender. Give a like.
It's a terrible
anything
custom.
else you want to hit on?
It's a terrible custom. Are we doing this again?
It's part of being in a society. You tip people. You like their videos.
If they're only giving you a Bud Light, tell them they did nothing that a monkey couldn't do, and they do not deserve your dollar.
When their hands are raw and bloodied from opening twist tops all day long,
I'll tell them to take that dollar tip and buy a bottle opener.
I mean, it's still got to twerk and twist and look.
They're gonna twerk now.
You got to twerk your bottle open.
We ran out of stuff to talk about. Yes, I will have a projections update soon. I was preoccupied with doing another show for a different sport. Sorry that I don't have a clone.
Yeah, if you're playing NBA, also check out Emac's link in there as well. His free cash building article or building blocks article is in the YouTube chat right now. So check that out. Check out the switch and hedge too. It's still relevant. And,
I tip. I just don't tip for things that aren't worth tips. I'm a very, very nice tipper when it matters.
Tip everything, and I go, Nemanja, have a great day.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.